Hey everyone, I wanted to shoot this quick, but what I feel is a very important video outlining your COVID-19 internet marketing plan for contractors, builders, and other home service professionals. If you're watching the news at all, you know that things are changing and evolving very rapidly with this coronavirus situation, especially in terms of mandates and government policies. Basically, your customers right now are landlocked at home, and even you yourself are probably landlocked at home. Maybe some of you can't even go into your business. And so the important thing to focus on right now is how you can make the most of this opportunity. Have the proper mindset going into this and getting through this. Have a mindset of positivity. And then you have an obligation to serve your community in the best way that you can. You also have that obligation to your family to pay your bills and to put food on the table, as well as the obligation that you have to your team who rely on you for their livelihood and a stable income. So right now is the time for business leaders to step up and to think about what they can do to get ahead of this. And so I thought it'd be a great time to discuss what you can and should be doing for your marketing plan to get ahead of this and to best serve your community. So make no mistake about it, there are definitely tough times ahead. This is not going to be easy, but we will get through this. The biggest effect that we're going to feel as business owners is the effect on the economy. We know that the economy is going to take a hit. There's probably a financial crisis looming, whether that be a recession. What we need to think about is how you can pivot and focus on the opportunity that's at hand. And so the main thing is that customers still need and want your services. Not everyone's shut down like restaurants are, some medical professionals and the travel and tourism industry. There are a lot of people that now they're cooped up at home. They're going to be going stir crazy pretty quickly. And most importantly, they're going to be looking at projects that they've always thought about. And now that they're stuck at home, they're in their kitchen cooking every single night. And they've hated their kitchen. They wanted to expand it, blow out a wall maybe. And now they're thinking about these things more often now that they are at home. Their whole family is home all day, every day. It's really an unprecedented situation. And so people are going to be thinking about projects like this. And this is a good time that you can get ahead and start the design consultation process with them. Or people that want to get a new roof on after the winter here is coming to an end. So these are opportunities that you can capitalize on and you should be thinking about. And so the biggest thing to think about, what are we facing here? What we're facing is a major worldwide market aberration, an anomaly. We've really seen nothing like a global pandemic in our lifetimes. And what you really need to remember is that all aberrations are temporary. So this will not last. We will get through it. Really, whoever stays standing and lasts the longest will absorb most of the market share when we're through this, because there are going to be a lot of other companies that are kind of putting their head in the sand and just going to take a break. And there are going to be other smaller companies that just might outright fail during this situation. What you need to focus on is don't panic, don't overreact, and don't make bad decisions. An example of a bad decision is saying, hey, I need to cut my marketing, I need to cut all my ad spend and just contract your business. And what happens is you lose your brand awareness, you lose your opportunity to stay top of mind for consumers and or to serve consumers that are going to take advantage of this lull to get some projects started. And then most importantly, you're going to lose that market share in terms of Google's search engine ranking pages. You're going to disappear from those pages if you just put your marketing on hold. This is also a good time where you can start working on your standard operating procedures, your manuals. Take a look at those. This is never going to happen any other time, right? We tell ourselves maybe we're going to work on it on vacation or one weekend over a Christmas break. Let's face it, it really never happens. And so there's no better time right now than to sharpen your tools, sharpen your scripts and all your processes and systems, and be better than you ever were before once you come out of this on the other side. Some other things you can do too is to encourage your team to stay active, encourage them to do more exercise, encourage them to read more on the industry and potential trends that are happening now or that may happen after the crisis subsides. You really just want to encourage people to be more productive and to make this downtime matter for you and for your team. And then you can also speak to your customers' hot buttons. Now more than ever, people are going to care about and listen to only what they really are focused on, what they really want to hear, what they're looking for, the services or that they're thinking about, the designs, the projects that they've had their mind on. So try to align your service offerings and your products with what the marketplace cares about, and then also think about how you can reach out to potential clients regarding those services. And so now's the time to be proactive, to reach out to clients and prospects proactively. You don't want to just be sitting back and thinking people are still going to be calling you, because the call volume is going to go down. You've probably already seen it. There's no doubt that this is not a normal time, but this is the time to get into your email database and start reaching out to folks on that list. Reach out ask for referrals, and even get out there and start doing more social media in terms of maybe writing more blog posts, or better yet, getting yourself on video and talking about your services, how you're dealing with it, how you're still alive and kicking, basically. This is a time for you to really be proactive. Another thing to think about are your habits. You want to create and maintain good business habits. And we're talking about your systems and processes and how you do business, and also how you run your business financially. One of the biggest breakthroughs for me was reading the Profit First system by Michael Michalowicz. So if you've not heard of that system, I suggest you read that book and really think about how you can apply that to your business as well. Another thing is to be contrarian. Don't follow the herd. Most businesses really truly are going to just stick their head in the sand and wait for this to pass and just think, business is going to be slow. It is what it is. And that's just really not how to attack this and to take advantage of the market opportunity that's going to be out there. Another thing to think about is to be your best. How can you, look at all your processes, everything you do, how you treat customers, how you treat your employees. How can you be the best at everything you do? And this is a time really for good self-reflection and just kind of looking inward at how you run your company and how your company runs itself in terms of the systems and processes out there. Another thing is think about your customers. Anything they do to their home is their biggest investment. This is something that's really near and dear to them. So sometimes they need to be reminded of this and encouraged to make the most of their home and to get the most out of their quality of life and what kind of upgrades and projects might lead to that. They also need that reassurance that life will go on, that this is not the end of the world, and that they still can think about these projects for their home. And now is the time for you to be there for them and just remind them this isn't permanent. Other thing you can think about is financing, reaching out to them and letting them know about financing options. Some companies that you have that can maybe possibly give them 6 months same as cash, or 90 days deferred payments, things like that. You got to be creative. You got to talk to your financial vendors that you work with and have them come up with solutions that can help you both succeed and in turn help your clients get the project done that they want to get done. Another thing to think about is your sales scripting. In a time like this, you really need to be showing empathy more so than ever to the client and letting them know that you care, that you're there for them, and that you really want to put your passion into their project just like you would any other time. This is not a time of desperation. This is a time to be the best that you can be and to show clients that. And then most importantly, keep your funnel full. This is not the time to sit on the sidelines. This is the time to really build that funnel, to start reaching out and using the email databases, social media, word of mouth, anything that you can to reach out and make sure that funnel's full. So when we come out the other side of this, you're going to have a lot of pent-up demand that's going to come your way. The next thing we want to think about is messaging for clients and the things that you need to be letting them know about. Let them know that all your project estimates are good for 90 days. So even if they get the ball rolling now, get you out for some measurements, looking at the project overall, But that estimate will be good for 90 days. And of course, that could be a fluid situation as well. If we find that we're still in this crisis in 90 days, then they can extend that. But make sure you have your contracts in place and that you've had your attorney review those so that you're protected and you don't lose any business because of an expiring contract or anything like that. Again, let them know about all the different financing options that you have and any kind of specials that you may be running. And they're going to run through this entire time. So now is a good time for them to book, get a small deposit from them, get them locked in, and then start working on that project, working on that design process and moving this forward and then potentially even starting that project. Let them know that this is a time also that they can avoid those pushy salesmen. If they're the type that are going to get 3, 4, or 5 different bids, chances are that 1 or 2 of those salespeople that come out are going to be the pushy type. It's just in their nature. And so this is a time that you can, show them that that is not your style, that you're willing to, help them think about their project and their design in a very neutral manner with some space in between you without that pushiness or sense of urgency. And that kind of leads into how you can kind of modernize in this time and show them that you are a progressive company and that you are able to adapt to the situation and use tools like Zoom video conferencing where you can talk to the clients face to face. It's a normal conversation. It's like you're meeting them at their house. They can even, show you around the house. If they're on a laptop, you can pick up their laptop and just walk around with it and show you what they're thinking. You can have them do measurements right then and there. You can say, hey, measure that wall for me. And then, measure this opening. And there's really ways to think outside the box here. And the companies that do that are going to be the ones that are best positioned to grab that market share once we get through this crisis. Then, of course, we need to talk about precautions for your team. You want to reassure clients that you are taking precautions, that you are following the best practices as laid down by the World Health Organization and maybe governing bodies in your industries. You also want to be protecting your own employees as well. And so let customers know that you're taking your employees' temperature every day, that you're monitoring for any kind of symptoms, cough, aches and pains, fever, anything like that, that you're staying on top of that every single morning and at the end of each day to make sure that there are no changing situations there. Let them know that your craftsmen and your technicians that come out wear booties and rubber gloves. And unfortunately, in this time, that they're not going to be shaking hands with you, but you can always greet them with a smile. Let them know that you're sanitizing everything, your trucks, your vehicles, all your equipment. Your employees are washing their hands at a very, very regular interval, and then you're doing all the sanitation most definitely before and after each visit. It will take more work, but you have to commit to the safety of your employees as well as your clients. Make sure you're sanitizing everything with 70% isopropyl alcohol. That definitely kills the virus. You just have to show that you're being responsible in this time. And then you can also ask clients to do a little sanitizing of their own before you come out. They're sanitizing, wiping down doorknobs and other things that you might touch, a countertop that you might be measuring or something like that. So let them know that this works both ways, that everyone here is concerned for everyone else's health, and make this a workable situation. Then next is thinking about your goals to survive this and also to thrive beyond this situation. How do you come out on the other side of this a better person, a better leader, a better company? So the biggest thing you can do is take a leadership role. And this is the time to be a leader and to be at the forefront of the service demands. Make sure that you're positioning yourself at the front of the line. And once all this pent-up demand starts to release after the crisis is over, you want to make sure that you're that company that was there. You have all those estimates backed up. You're ready to start working. You were there for them. And it's not like you just came off the sidelines and say, hey, coach, put me in. And now we're going to start our marketing. Now we're going to start our sales. Now we're going to start our brand awareness and get back in the community. You don't want to be that company. You want to be the one that's been there all along throughout this whole thing. There are going to be small companies that don't make it through this. This is how you become one of those companies that is guaranteed to make it through this. And then positivity. You have to be a role model of positivity for yourself, for your family, and for the morale of your company. It all starts with you. So you want to be a role model. You want to instill confidence and security in your team. Practice positivity every day. Share anecdotes and stories and jokes that uplift people, and give them a reason to smile. Let them know that, yeah, we're in a bad situation here, but we can still laugh. We can still make it through this with a joke, with a positive story, with something that inspires them. Post 9/11, there were a lot of stories that helped to inspire people and help keep people moving forward. And that's what we need to do here. We need to think about, how do we keep moving forward in this situation? And another thing to think about is the opportunity. More customers than ever now, you have their attention. They're at home. They're either working at home or they're not working at all, or somewhere in between there. So you have their attention now. Now is the time to get your messaging right and to get your messaging out there. Again, like I said, use social media to the best of your abilities. If you're one of those people that don't mind getting on a video, shoot some videos. Just grab your iPhone and just shoot yourself talking. It doesn't have to be professional. It does not have to be practiced or scripted or anything like that. And believe me, the more that you just get your phone out there and start talking into it for a half a minute or so, the more you do that, the more comfortable you're going to be. It will just become second nature to you after that. And that's really going to be a big boost for your social media. And then a theory that I learned from Dave Yoho, who is a really, really big guru in the home services space, is the EPOD theory. And that's energy, persuasion, optimism, and discipline. It's being energetic. It's being persuasive in your leadership and your sales. It's showing that positivity and that optimism in everything you do, and not dwelling on your situation. And then discipline and being sharp every day and using this time to sharpen your processes and everything you do. And then lastly, this is an opportunity where you can serve your community. If you do have extra time on your hands, ask what you can do to help your community. Is there any kind of volunteer efforts that might be available that will allow you to best serve your community in any way you can during this troubled time? And then lastly, we have to think and work together on how we can get through this. The truth is, this is a time period of a global pandemic, and this is going to hurt. There's no denying that. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, and I don't think anyone out there is. This is going to hurt businesses all across the country, all across the world. There is going to be a slowdown, and it's going to hurt our business. It's going to hurt businesses all across every industry, some worse than others. And so we can feel fortunate that we are still able to serve our community, serve our customers. So there's just no hiding from that fact. But if you look at a quote by Zig Ziglar, it really encapsulates how we have to face this situation. Expect the best, hope for the best, prepare for the worst because it may happen, but most importantly, capitalize on what comes. Capitalize on that opportunity that you can find for yourself. There will be opportunity there. Will you be the company that takes a hold of that opportunity and makes the most of it? I hope this has helped everyone. If you need any help, if you need any guidance, is there anything that we can do for you? If you're a customer of ours, then reach out to your account manager and let us know how we can best serve you. We're here for you. And if you're not a client of ours, feel free to reach out to us anyways. Give us a call, book some time with me, and let's just talk about some things that you can do through this. We're always here for you. So the biggest thing to remember is this too shall pass. We will get through this, and we will come out the other side better for it. So I hope this has helped. I hope everyone stays safe, stays healthy, and don't forget, keep washing those hands. Take care.